And we welcome you back to Hightstown, New Jersey, where the Mercersburg Academy Blue Storm play on the road here against the Peddie School Falcons here at the Eric Hansen Fieldhouse, a beautiful facility, a part of the Peddie campus here in Hightstown, New Jersey. Simon Rose again here with you as we get you set for two basketball games coming for you right here on the Strive Network. You take a look at midcourt. The captain's going out to discuss with the referees. With just the courtesy handshake at center court. You see the coaches as well. Sarah Benanzi in her 5th year for the Peddie School. And Katie LaRue also in her 5th season for Mercersburg Academy. There you see Katie LaRue in the pink, and in the blue is Sarah Benanzi. Let's take a look, since we've decided to talk about the coaches, let's take a look at our coaches' corner. Katie LaRue. 5th season as the head coach. She's got a Bachelor's of Science from Charleston Southern. That's where she played her basketball. She also coached at the Asheville School in North Carolina for 4 years. She's from down south in those parts. She was a 4-year starter. She was actually the Big South Rookie of the Year at Charleston Southern, and she led the 2012-2013 Mercersburg Academy team to their best start in school history. With 9 wins to start the season. Katie LaRue, our coach's corner here today. We'll talk plenty more about her. She's got some really interesting things off the court that we can talk about throughout the broadcast, and we'll get to those as the broadcast does go on. But Katie LaRue, the head coach for Mercersburg Academy. Let's take a look at our Strive Spotlight, and we did mention her in the open. Molly Taylor, as we get this potted up here. Molly Taylor, there she is. Molly Taylor, number 32, the point guard for this Mercersburg Academy Blue Storm team. Actually played with the U16 England national team, did Molly Taylor. So a very, very impressive young lady playing for this Mercersburg Academy squad. She'll be on display. 16 points per game, 4 assists per game, 2 steals per game. She's going to compete at Loyola, Maryland next year. And again, as I mentioned, she played for that U16 England national team. But here today, she'll be playing for the Blue Storm, looking to get the Blue Storm off to a good note in the Maple League season. Obviously, it's very important for these teams to win here today, because this is when the Maple League begins. So, Molly Taylor, our Strive Spotlight. Let's take a quick step aside. When we come back, we've got the start of this game. Mercersburg Academy and the Peddie Falcons going at it in girls basketball right after this here on the Strive Network. And back to Hightstown we come, where Mercersburg has taken the floor and the Peddie School Falcons are just about to do so. And while we have a moment, let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Mercersburg Academy Blue Storm. Molly Taylor, Tori Yoder, Sarah Lyman, Joanna Santos, and Agagbun are the starters for Mercersburg, and we are off and running here from Hightstown. As Peddie comes out in their home white jerseys, Mercersburg comes out in their road blue jerseys. It's the Peddie School who has the ball here first, as this is Kate Hill, who will do her playing at Rutgers next year, being trapped here at half court. She needs some help. A lot of time here, and that's going to be a 5-second violation, and pumped up is Sarah Lyman. She was among those trapping Kate Hill, and an early turnover against the Peddie Falcons. Remember, Peddie did play last night against TPLS Christian Academy. Mercersburg did play just a few days ago. As inside, this is a bucket for Tori Yoder. The senior from Chambersburg, Pennsylvania, gets Mercersburg on the board and gets the scoring started here at Peddie. Kate Hill and gets it back here. Looks like Mercersburg is coming out in somewhat of a zone look, a 2-3. In the middle is Azusa Agagbun. Here's a three-point look for Hill. That's off the mark. Whistle on the follow, and we are going the other way as Mercersburg will have the ball. 2-0 here in the early going. Simon Rose here with you on the Strive Network. Glad you could join us. As we get a look at Molly Taylor firing from deep. That's just off the mark. Last touched by a Peddie Falcon, and it's staying here. Taylor can shoot the ball. She's a 33% three-point shooter. She fires it again here from the corner, once again off the mark. As Peddie takes over, this is Mariah Speller going cross-court over to Emma Rogers, who had a career-high 18 points versus West Town just a few days ago. 6.5 points per game for the 5'9" sophomore. This one's short from Rajay McClinic. And Mercersburg coming the other way. There were some, there's 3 games going on here at the Athletic Center here at Peddie as this one rolls out of bounds. So if you do hear some whistles in the background and you see the players keeping going, that's probably the result of those JV games being played on the court just on the other side of that curtain that you see. As our first foul of the contest coming up. It's going to go against the Peddie Falcons, and shooting 2 will be Agagbun. 6-footer from Haymarket, Virginia. A junior. She was a part of the All-Maple League team last year. Averaging a double-double for Mercersburg Academy as she misses the first free throw. 10 points, 10 rebounds per game. Second one is up, and that one is no good too, but right down to Yoder, who puts it up and in. Easy enough for Tori Yoder, who's got all 4 points for Mercersburg Academy and all 4 points in the game thus far. Peddie still looking to get on the board. Kate Hill going all the way in. Will have to dish it back out outside the key. And now a strong move. Good defense by Lyman. And she secures possession. Mercersburg likes to run. Taylor gets it back here. Lyman making a move into the paint, and that one's good. A really nice start for Mercersburg Academy. And they force Sarah Venanzi to call a timeout. You got to look at Katie LaRue and company. She's got to be really happy with how this game has started. That was a quick timeout, just about 10 or 15 seconds. I'm not sure if they actually took one away from Peddie. And we're back to the action. It's 6-0 Mercersburg. Peddie's still looking to get on the board. Impressive for Mercersburg to come out to this fast start. Remember, they had to drive 3.5, 4 hours here today, this morning, to get here to Hightstown, and that's a fact that they have to deal with for the majority of their Maple League schedule, as Mercersburg is situated in central Pennsylvania. We'll see if those bus legs, as they call them, come into effect here in the early going. It doesn't look like they have, as Mercersburg again stifles defensively and leads 6-0, has the ball here. Yoder looking for her 6-point, weaves in, did the hard part, but could not finish. They go high post to McClintock and Kate Hill. Far side, Stralkis. This one comes out of bounds. It'll stay with Peddie. Coach Venanzi took over the program 5 years ago. Peddie had such a remarkable run of prep championships. 14 straight Prep A crowns from 1997 to 2011 under head coach Sean Casey. Casey was 329 and 89 in his 17 years of coaching. Kate Hill cannot get the Falcons on the board. Still working hard and ultimately leading to a Peddie possession. Emma Rogers all the way in, and she'll have a few free throws. Emma Rogers, the 5'9" sophomore from Yorktown Heights, New York, to the line. So Coach Venanzi took over the program in 2011-2012. Went through a few lean years as Peddie was transitioning out of the tenure of Coach Sean Casey. But the last 3 seasons, Coach Venanzi has certainly got her grasp on the program as Rogers makes both free throws. All the way up ahead goes Mercersburg. Lots of contact, no call. It's a bucket anyway, as Gogbun puts in her first 2. And it's 8-2 Mercersburg Academy. Similar story with Katie LaRue, who again took over 5 years ago. Here's a 3-pointer for Hill. That's no good. Tip drill into the paint. It's Sarah Lyman who comes away with the rebound. Gogbun into the paint. She had it stripped. Yoder could not clean up the trash. Out of bounds off of Yoder last. And Peddie basketball. I remember Coach LaRue led the 2012-2013 team to 9 straight wins to start the 2012-2013 season. That was the start, or at least the beginning of the tenure of Coach LaRue, who has done a really nice job with this program. Last year they finished 15-7. Gogbun with an offensive board and a putback, in Mercersburg Academy flying high to start here in the home of the Falcons. 4 points for Gogbun. Kate Hill stepping into the jumper and drilling it. First field goal for Peddie comes off the hands of Kate Hill. 15 points per game. Here's Molly Taylor. Handing off. Santos. Joanna Santos with her first 2. So 4 different Mercersburg Academy Blue Storm players have scored. They're starting strong here. They've started strong this season. They're 6-1. And they lead 12-4, force another turnover. Coach Katie LaRue, also the head volleyball coach at Mercersburg Academy, as we do have a timeout now called by Coach Venanzi. You see Sarah Venanzi. Let's take a look at some recent results from Mercersburg Academy. Played the West Town School on the 5th of December, beat them. Shenandoah Valley, they also beat Pope John Paul the Great. They've been running through opponents. Germantown Academy, their only loss this season. Gerstel Academy, the result isn't on there, but they did come away with a win just a few days ago. And the Blue Storm at 6-1 are leading 12-4 here in Hightstown, as they will take it out here on the near sideline. That's Sarah Lyman to throw it in. Taylor goes all the way in, and she draws the foul. This one's going to go against Natalie Straukis. It's her first foul of the game. Third team foul against the Peddie Falcons. Here comes Molly Taylor to the line. She's an 83% free throw shooter. And she knocks down the first. Mercersburg's finish last year in the Maple League at 3rd was their highest finish. Looking to build on that season, as Kate Hill has it here on left wing and will run the offense. Mercersburg back in a man-to-man D. Into the post, it's Straukis. Back out, a three-pointer rattles out. And loose ball picked up by Peddie. Kate Hill. Step back jumper, short. Santos able to box out for the long rebound. And Tori Yoder has her pocket picked. Mariah Speller, this is Kate Hill, 1-on-2. Throws it up there, doesn't have to draw the foul. So Kate Hill to the line. Coach Venanzi said Kate Hill is the spark plug on offense. Both her ability to put the ball in the hole and distribute to teammates. That's the reason why Rutgers University has decided to add her to their program next year. She knocks down both free throws. There's a baseline jumper and a quick answer for Santos, who's got 4 points. (15-6), under a minute to go here in the first quarter. Game 1 of 2 of our doubleheader here between Mercersburg Academy and the Peddie Falcons. Hill finds a little space, leaves it short. Outlet pass up to Yoder. Peddie does a nice job of getting back on D and preventing the transition play, but here's an open three in the corner. No good, as Yoder is hacked hard by Kate Hill after the three was missed by Molly Taylor. Foul on the floor, 4th against the Peddie Falcons. And Lyman brings in. Couldn't get it to Agagban. Kate Hill with a beautiful move and a finish. Well done by Kate. And she's got 6 of her team's 8. 4 seconds to go. It's Taylor for Yoder. 1 second. She's got to get it up. She does, and Taylor misses at the buzzer. But it is a very good first quarter for Mercersburg Academy as they score 15 points to Peddie's 8 after 1 7-point lead for the Blue Storm. We come back with the second quarter right after this. And back we come to Heights, down 15-8, the score after 1 quarter of play, as Mercersburg Academy with 4 points from 3 different players. Joanna Santos with 4, Tori Yoder with 4, and Gogbun with 4. Molly Taylor only 1 point. She's got the ball here, looks for her first 3 and does get it. Molly Taylor drills it to start here in the second quarter. It's 18-8. And the largest lead of the game for Mercersburg Academy is 10. Peddie looking to answer here in the half court. Emma Rogers. Emma Rogers needs help, picks up her dribble and gives it right to Gogbun. Running the floor, and this one comes right to Lyman. And the ball's rolling your way, it's rolling your way, and it comes right to Lyman, who's easily able to put it up there. Lyman now with 4. And it's a 12-point lead for the Blue Storm. Give and go here, and a foul in the paint. Heading to the line is Mariah Speller. Speller averaging 4.5 points per game, 6 rebounds per game. She's a sophomore. She's from here in Hightstown, New Jersey, and she knocks down the first. As well as the second. Taylor pump fakes at the top and finds Yoder. In the corner, it's Santos, who had her shot deflected as she went up by Rajay McClintock. Taylor off the inbound, hits another 3. Second three-pointer of the quarter for Molly Taylor, and just like that, she's her team's leading scorer with 7 points here in the first half. And it's a 23-10 Mercersburg Academy lead. This one just thrown up there, and Gogbun will let it drop out of bounds. As good as a turnover for Mercersburg, as they force Peddie into a tough shot. Their defense has been quite impressive here. Very deep Mercersburg Academy team, although they haven't gone very deep into their bench. In fact, I believe the starters, all 5 starters, are currently on the floor and have stayed on the floor for the entirety of the game. Certainly shaking off the rust of those bus legs in that first quarter with nobody getting a breather. Here's a three-pointer for Peddie, no good off left wing from Mariah Speller. And Molly Taylor brings up for the Falcons. Wants another 3. This one rolls off to the left, the rebound to Natalie Straukis. All the way in goes Emma Rogers, no good. Straukis follows and is the last to touch. As we've got a timeout coming here for Katie LaRue. First called by Mercersburg Academy, as with 5:17 to go here in the second quarter, they called timeout. Now Katie LaRue mentioned that she's got some interesting off-the-court stories about her. So interesting, in fact, that Katie Couric found interest in Ms. LaRue's story during her senior season at Charleston Southern. She was in a mountain biking accident back in 1999, Coach LaRue, and she had to recover from that. It took about a year and 3 months for her to fully recover and get back on the playing surface. She didn't have control of the right side of her body, and it took some time for her to rehab that, and she was able to do so. And while she was not playing sports and rehabbing her injury, she picked up the guitar and decided to start writing and singing music. And Coach LaRue actually has 2 albums available on iTunes if you'd like to go visit and purchase those albums. A multi-talented coach for the ladies of Mercersburg Academy. Of course, she's also the head volleyball coach. And not only that, we deal with her and her athletic department on a regular basis, as she is the associate athletic director. A very impressive asset for Mercersburg Academy, the head coach and head volleyball coach for the Blue Storm. Back to the action, as this one will come out of bounds, and the referees will look at each other and grant possession to Peddie. Under 5 minutes to go here in the second quarter. It's a 23-10 Blue Storm lead. My name's Simon Rose. We've got this game and then the boys game to follow right after this here on the Strive Network. Agagban with some good D, not allowing the drive by Speller. Emma Rogers now for McClenic will hit it as she received the pass, so McClenic with her first 2. The senior from Aston, PA, foul here as Agagban is headed to the line. 4 points on the game for number 42. Agagban hit both free throws. We're on the other end, and it looks like Ishwa Agagban has committed this foul. Angela Glazer for Peddie. Dishes off to Kate Hill. Well done by the Falcons, but they cannot finish as they slice their way through that 2-3 zone. The extra pass gave a seemingly easy layup opportunity here for the Falcons, but they were not able to cash in. And they will have the ball, though. As they get it quickly in play, it's Speller. Knocked out of bounds here by Joanna Santos. Very active arms by Mercersburg Academy. They've got some big bodies, relatively speaking, of course. You know, long arms that make it very difficult for their opponents to pass through. Santos is one of their guards. She's 5'9", which is a decent size for perhaps a small forward. Tori Yoder, 5'7", with the ball. Finding Taylor in rhythm. No good, out of bounds, Peddie ball. Sarah Lyman, 5'10". Going back to my previous point, Molly Taylor, the point guard, 5'9". And Ishwa Agagban, 6 foot. Kate Hill gets all the way in. Agagban the rebound. And Molly Taylor will slow the pace just a bit here for the Blue Storm. Gets it back from Santos. And now Lyman feeding the paint. Agagban turns around, no good. But last touch by a Falcon in McClenic. Three minutes to go here in quarter number 2. Taylor finds herself free and knocks it down. Molly Taylor with 8 points in the quarter, 9 on the game. Kate Hill, no good on her jumper. Quick outlet for Taylor. It's a 2-on-2 if she can hurry. Finds Agagban, who's got position 1-on-2. Good D, though, by the Falcons. And, a scrum underneath. We heard from Katie LaRue that this Mercersburg Academy team is not afraid to get down and dirty, get on the ground, and go after those loose balls, and they are showing that intensity and energy here as they work themselves in for another possession. Ishwa Agaban takes a seat. Taylor wants the three. This one no good. Tip back out to Santos and back to Taylor, who will run the show. This is Sam Goldman, the recent sub into the game. Sarah Lyman no good. Rogers. Speller. Back to Kate Hill. Blue Storm have made it very difficult for the Falcons here in the first half. Not a lot of quality opportunities here for Peddie. As that try wouldn't go for Speller, and on the follow, it's off of a Blue Storm leg. It's the opening game of the Maple season. As Speller goes to the top, Angela Glazer now, all the way in off the glass, no good. Offensive board, as fighting for it was Emma Rogers. Wouldn't go. Worth noting that Peddie does have two players out of their starting lineup. Bailey Bates is their post-grad forward who had a season-ending injury the day before the season started. She tore her ACL. Taylor comes away with a steal in transition. It's Sarah Lyman. She finds her and she finishes. Six points for Lyman. 29-12. Mercersburg back in their 2-3. A makeshift 2-3. It's a very active zone, but it's not a man-to-man, so it's some sort of zone. Whatever it is, it's working for Mercersburg Academy. As they come away with another steal. This is Lyman with the mid-range jumper. They're aggressive on the offensive end. They're aggressive on the defensive end. Lyman steps right into the jumper. They're not afraid to shoot the ball, and she draws contact heading to the line. Seven points now for Sarah Lyman. Lyman 5'10", 11 points per game. She's averaging 10 rebounds per game, so she's also averaging a double-double. When you've got two girls in your lineup averaging double-doubles, as great hustle there by Yoder, forcing the jump ball. Got two girls in your lineup averaging a double-double. That's impressive. Especially considering when you watch Sarah Lyman play, she doesn't seem like your traditional post kind of player. She can run the floor very effectively, but she still finds a way to find the ball. This one out of bounds. It'll be Blue Storm basketball with 30 seconds to go here in the second quarter. 30-12 is the score. Substitution here for the Peddie Falcons as Kate Hill will take a seat in the final 30 seconds, and Elle Grant checks in, a 5'8" guard from East Brunswick. Blue Storm will be plenty happy with how they played here in the first half when they go into the locker room. In under 15 seconds, this is Lyman taking it strong to the cup, and a foul called on Strauchis. Lyman looking for her 8th and 9th point of the game. Also averaging 2 assists per game and 2 steals per game. They go along with those 11 points and 10 rebounds. Coach LaRue said she's a strong force in the paint, but as we've seen, she can play the guard position. Versatile player, athletic player, energetic player, and scrappy player. We've seen all of those in Sarah Lyman's play here in the first half. Time winding down here in the first, and Peddie gets a bucket. It's a three-pointer for Angela Glazer. A nice way to finish the first half for the Peddie Falcons, though it's all Mercersburg Academy as they lead 31-15 after 2 quarters of play. When we come back, we'll have the third quarter for you. You're watching Maple League basketball right here on the Strive Network.
just use new buttons.
Oh yeah, what's that?
Left and right. So like if I type a message.
Oh.
Are you guys ready?
Take that off, Adam.
This? Yep. Want to reset the timeouts?
Hightstown, New Jersey, the site of the Peddie School. And Mercersburg Academy as we begin the second half of play. It's Mercersburg Academy who will start with the basketball. They've got the 31-15 lead. Molly Taylor leading things scoring-wise for Mercersburg Academy. 9 points for her. Ishwa Agaban has 8. Sarah Lyman has also scored pretty effectively as well as she gets into the lane. No good here. Fighting for her own miss. It's Tori Yoder who gets it. And Molly Taylor for 3. That one rolls all the way around the rim. No good. Loose ball, and it's going to end up being a jump ball. Man, if there's a loose ball, there is a Mercersburg Academy Blue Storm player within reach. But the jump ball will go to Peddie Falcons after the Blue Storm won the tip. Peddie having trouble offensively, finding really any sort of rhythm after the stifling defense of Mercersburg Academy. Here's a long 3 by Kate Hill, no good. Angela Glazer got the rebound down low, and she does enough to win a possession here for the Peddie Falcons. See if Coach Sarah Venanzi said anything to these Falcons to get them a little bit more competitive in this game. This is Glazer who's open for 3. Angela Glazer no good. Comes out to Tori Yoder. Kate Hill able to get a touch on it, and it squirts out to Peddie. Hill again with a left hand off the glass, kisses it down and good. First 2 points of the third quarter go to Peddie. Kate Hill now has 8 points. Rebound here to the Falcons. Mariah Speller with the baby hook. Hit nothing, slipped to McClenic. And now Speller again, too strong. Finds it again off her own miss. And Santos knocks it out of bounds for Mercersburg Academy. Kate Hill from distance, no good. And Santos brings across half court. Yoder, the jump step and the finish. Tori Yoder leans in for 2. Yoder had the first 4 points of the game for Mercersburg. Had not scored since those 2 buckets, but back on the board. She's got 6 in the game. And it's 33-17. Kate Hill, her pass to no one in particular except for a Blue Storm player. Molly Taylor, coast to coast, drawing a foul as she went up. And Molly Taylor is headed to the line. That foul against number 5, Emma Rogers. So Taylor, who averages 16 points per game for Mercersburg Academy, to the line for 2, knocks down the first. Now the first player to double digits in this one. She's got 10. The senior from the United Kingdom. Makes it 35-17. Mercersburg leading Peddie. Falcons working in the half court. Under 5 minutes to go in the third. Knocked away, and Taylor finds it. A lot of Falcons in their defensive zone. Taylor puts one up anyway. No good. And Glazer comes out of the pack and whistle here as play will be stopped for a down Peddie Falcon. I believe that's Mariah Speller down on the floor in pain for the Falcons as Coach Benanzi comes out to take a look at her. We'll take a quick step aside when we come back. Hopefully, Miss Speller can get back out on her feet. See Mariah Speller back out on her feet. It looks like her right ankle, she's not putting any pressure on. Not an injury that the Peddie Falcons want to see. 5'10", sophomore Mariah Speller has been a very active part of the Falcons' game plan here in this one. And she'll have to take a seat on the bench and be attended to there by Jason Baston, the athletic director here at the Peddie School, as well as the training staff. So after the injury timeout, it will be Falcons basketball with 4:43 to go here in the third quarter. Simon Rose with you here on the Strive Network. Glad you could join us for this game, and hopefully you'll stick around for game 2 of our doubleheader as well, as the Mercersburg boys take on the Peddie boys. Angela Glazer kicks this one to Emma Rogers, the transfer sophomore. Kate Hill. Really good looking mid-range jumper from Kate Hill, as she's got 10 points on the game. 4 of them coming in this third quarter. This is Taylor who knocks it down from the baseline. Speaking of good-looking mid-range jumpers, those are the 2 that we highlighted in the opening of the broadcast. Kate Hill and Molly Taylor, the respective point guards for Mercersburg Academy and Peddie. Two players that will be playing at the next level next year, and 2 that are putting on shows here today at the Peddie School. Sarah Lyman at the heart of that jump ball. It'll be Mercersburg Academy basketball after the loose ball. Santos, Yoder's wide open. She dishes it out to Lyman instead. Agabon finds it and rolls it in easily. Ishwa Agabon, her first 2 of the third quarter, and she is in double digits with 10 points, defending here and securing the rebound. The junior looking for the outlet in Tori Yoder. Yoder 1-on-3 will take it in anyway and draw the foul. Fearless are these Blue Storm players, as 2 free throws are coming for Ms. Yoder, the senior from Chambersburg, Pennsylvania, in the ballpark or neighborhood of Mercersburg. Knocks down the first. She's a 60% free throw shooter on the season. Yoder just 5'7", but she's averaging 8.5 rebounds per game. And oftentimes you see in girls basketball some of the shorter players getting those higher rebounding numbers. It seems to be that there's a lot more loose balls in girls hoops, and it's about who wants it more and less to do with how tall you are in terms of correlating to rebound numbers. Certainly Tori Yoder and many of the other Mercersburg Academy Blue Storm have wanted the ball more here as they lead 41-19. Under 3 to go in the third quarter. Peddie looking to get in some sort of rhythm. Kate Hill sporting the face mask today. Had her shot blocked by Sarah Lyman. Mercersburg Academy has done a really nice job on Kate Hill. We've mentioned a few times that Kate will be playing her ball at the D1 level at Rutgers University. She brings into Emma Rogers. Trying to get it down to McClinic. Another loose ball is picked up by the Blue Storm. Molly Taylor feeding Agabon. Off the glass and good. Taylor to Agabon. And the Blue Storm continue their hot play. Looking to improve to 7-1 on the season and 1-0 in Maple League play. Kate Hill for three. She was bumped, but there was no call. She knocks it down anyway. A three-pointer for Kate Hill. Taylor just throws it up there, follows her own miss, but it pops out to Kate Hill. Hill with a bounce pass down to Elle Grant, and now McClintock from the foul line. Leaves it short. Came right back to her. And Peddie with the basketball again. This is a steal, a pick from Santos all the way to the cup, no good. Followed up by Molly Taylor. Easiest bucket of the game for Taylor. And she's got 6 points here in the second half. 15 on the game. And a timeout is called on the floor. It is a full timeout for the Peddie School, as Mercersburg Academy leads 45-22 with 1:14 left in the third quarter. Don't forget, you can visit the Mercersburg store. Go to mercersburgstore.com and take a look at all of the apparel and other interesting things on that website that you can purchase. Get all your Mercersburg gear at mercersburgstore.com. Let's take a look at that most recent replay. The steal by Santos. You can see Molly Taylor behind the play, following up nicely. Good defense by Kate Hill to get back there. She wasn't the one who committed the turnover, but with good hustle. But it was Molly Taylor with the best hustle of all who cleaned up the trash and got the two. See Peddie Falcons coming out of the timeout, and same can be said for Mercersburg Academy. Our director today, by the way, pushing the buttons is Steve Eggert. And our graphics operator, Adam Rosenwasser. Approaching a minute to go here in the third quarter. Another steal, or almost steal, for Mercersburg. It'll turn into a jump ball, and possession arrow favors the Falcons. Get into the post, nothing doing as Molly Taylor finds it. Quickly turns ahead. Mercersburg looking to play fast as they have done throughout this game and throughout the season. Jump ball, possession arrow, favors Mercersburg. 41 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Quickly in play to Taylor. Back down to Lyman. Wrestled away by McClintock, or Rajay McClintock, but then she stood up after she took it away, and that's a traveling violation. So now Taylor with it on the baseline. Molly Taylor all the way in, protects the ball, but she's called for the travel before she got the shot up. Kate Hill will hold for the last shot for Peddie, guarded by Molly Taylor. Hill spins back and hit nothing. Stays in play, and Straukis actually got a shot up there. It would have counted, but it's no good. And we go to the fourth with Mercersburg Academy leading 45-22. Katie LaRue and company very happy with how her team has played, but she's not done coaching, as her team will take the floor when we return right after this. Back we come here to Hightstown, start of the fourth quarter, as Mercersburg Academy leads the Peddie School 45-22. McClinic on the baseline. Rebound by Mercersburg Academy, and then I believe it was a jump ball called, so it'll be Mercersburg ball. Just 15 seconds into the quarter. Full court pressure being instituted by Kate Hill on Molly Taylor. She's guarding her the whole way down. That was the matchup we wanted to keep our eye on, and it's been one that has been interesting throughout. Neither of those players have taken much of a seat on the bench. I believe Mercersburg has only gone about 2 deep into their bench. Right now, Sam Goldman is on the floor. She was the 6th player off the bench. Oh, what a feed there as Santos found Agabon. And Agabon just off the mark. Leaning in here for the jumper was El Grant. That wouldn't go. High post, it's Lyman. Trying to spin around, knocked away by Kate Hill. Numbers for Peddie if they hurry. Hill looking for Straukis, and that pass was just a little bit off the mark. So Straukis could not pull it in. So a turnover against Peddie. Taylor for 3, no, give her 2. A foot on the line for Molly Taylor. And she continues her strong play in this one. That's her first field goal of the fourth quarter, but in the second half, she's got 8 points, had 9 in the first. It's a solid game from start to finish for Molly Taylor as Glazer misses from atop the key. 17 for Taylor. 47 for Mercersburg Academy. Oh, Yoder off the screen was able to lay that one in easily. 49-22 as Yoder gets her 10th point of the game. She's had a nice ball game. Again, averaging 9 on the season. Kate Hill all the way in, and she'll go to the line for 2. Took contact. Hill 3 for 3 from the line here today. 8 points in the first half, 8 points in the second half, 16 on the game, looking for her 17th at the line. Straukis gets the offensive board and finds Kate Hill, who puts her face mask down across her face to cover it after she took it off for the free throw. The three-pointer was no good, and here comes Molly Taylor. Nifty dribbling and just threw it up there. I don't think she intended to get it to Sarah Lyman, but she found her anyway. Peddie basketball coming out here. 49-23 the score. 5.5 to go after this game. And we've got the boys contest. And some very exciting players on display for that boys contest. I'll be joined by Jason Hansel of the Peddie School for that broadcast. This is Kate Hill after the ball fake. Agabon the rebound. And she'll be fouled by Straukis. No, check that. It's a foul against Ishwa Agabon as she swung those elbows. Only the first foul of the second half against Mercersburg Academy. So we have given them kudos for the type of defense that they've been playing, the strong defense that they've been playing. But they've been able to play that kind of pesky D without fouling, which is even more impressive. This foul on the floor. So their second foul of the second half is against Molly Taylor. And here's Carrie Jornlin, a sophomore from Hagerstown, Maryland, who is among the tallest on the team for Mercersburg, 6'2", relieves Ishwa Agaban and promptly commits the foul. Kate Hill to the line after Jornlin hacked her on the way up. So Mercersburg commits their first 3 fouls of the second half in the same possession. $17 on the game for Kate Hill. Now 18. Taylor and Hill have been step for step. Taylor with 17 for Mercersburg. As Lyman leaves it short. Emma Rogers dishes off to Kate Hill. Rogers picks up her dribble, Lyman guarding, and gets her hand on the ball for a jump ball. Possession arrow in favor of the Falcons. 4:12 to go here in the fourth quarter. Few substitutions for Mercersburg as Sam Goldman and Sarah Lyman come out. Back in is Joanna Santos, and Maddie Jones, a junior from Haymarket, Virginia, is in the game for Mercersburg Academy. Jornlin got the rebound and lucky to retain possession as Yoder is all the way at the other end, goes right at her defender and draws contact. This foul against Emma Rogers. And a bulldog-like play by Tori Yoder earns her a trip to the line. So we take another look on the replay. For 2. Kate Hill from the top of the key. She knocks it down. A 3-pointer for Kate. That's her second of the half, and she has filled up the score sheet here in the second half. 13 in the frame. 19 on the game. Molly Taylor showing off her dribbling skills, gets by her defender and then threw it up there. It was behind the backboard because it was deflected. So it'll stay with the Blue Storm with 3 minutes to go here in the fourth. Mercersburg has been comfortable throughout this one. Has had a double-digit lead since the first quarter of play. Taylor receives the feed, and they credit the assist to Joanna Santos. (51-28). Santos got a touch on the ball, but Peddie retains possession. Molly Taylor backs off Kate Hill. Hill thinking about the 3. She's now guarded by Jones and will take this 3 anyway. And yes, sir, Molly Taylor unable to defend as Kate Hill puts in her third three of the second half. This one no good. Here comes Kate Hill again, 1 on 3, pulls up from just inside the line and knocks it down. Kate Hill, showing you why here in the second half she'll be playing at Rutgers next year. Makes it 51-33, pulls Peddie within 18, though there's just a minute and a half to go. And this one all but over for the Mercersburg Academy Blue Storm. They're going to improve to 7-1 on the season, and you could argue more importantly, as Santos gets to, you could argue more importantly that they'll improve to 1-0 here in the Maple League. Every Maple contest so important, especially those that you can get on the road. Every win that you can get on the road means just a little bit more because that's an extra home game that you've got in hand. Another jump ball. There's been a million of them here today. Those active arms of Mercersburg Academy have been extremely active here in this game. As Yoder, who did just force that jump ball, will take a seat. In steps Maddie Surmas. With 35 seconds to go, it's Molly Taylor pacing things for the Blue Storm. Trying to find Surmas. She's quickly double teamed, and a jump ball here as Straukis got her hands in there. Stick with us after the game. We'll have an interview with a Mercersburg Academy player. Straukis, top of the key, into the lane. That one no good. And with under 5 seconds to go, Mercersburg Academy comes into Hightstown and comes out with a victory. The Blue Storm improved to 7-1 on the season. The Peddie Falcons dropped to 4-4, and Mercersburg, just like that, they're atop the Maple League standings with an undefeated record of 1-0. Stick with us here on the post-game report on the Strive Network. We're going to catch up with our player of the game from Mercersburg Academy. We'll have that right after this.
I didn't see it.
Thanks.
Back we come here on the Strive Network with Molly Taylor, our player of the game. Molly, a phenomenal performance. Obviously, it's your first Maple League game of the season, so you wanted to come out strong. Are you pleased with the result here today, and what did you see out there on the floor?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. It's a big win for us to win against Peddie. They're a very talented team. You know, we knew we had to come out and, lock Kate down, and we got lucky because they had a few players out, and everyone stepped up for us today. So, I mean, we're able to capitalize.
One thing that I haven't seen, and I've seen a lot of games, is your guys' tradition after the games. You go in and you thank the crowd. Can you talk a little bit about that tradition? It seems like a really cool thing you guys do at Mercersburg.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even really know why we do it, but it's just something our coach is. She's always trying to, she's very much about helping people, thanking people for what they do. I mean, it's great that people come out and support us, and, we don't all necessarily have our parents here because, we go to boarding school, so it's great the support that we do get, so it's important that we thank people that come to watch us play.
You guys finished third in the Maple League last year. That was your highest finish in the history of Mercersburg. And Coach LaRue has obviously done a nice job of getting you guys together and putting a strong product out this year. Talk a little bit about Coach LaRue and what she does as a coach that helps you guys as a team.
I mean, she's great at getting players in. I mean, me personally, I'm from overseas. We have Joanna, she's from Portugal. She's able to get in a lot of talent that really helps us. She does a great job with that, and I mean, she's there every day, like making us get better on the court. So if it wasn't for her, I mean, we wouldn't be where we are. And we had a great job scouting them today. We knew what they were going to do. So, I mean, we've got to thank Coach Bell for that as well. We just have a great staff that helps us to win games. So. Anything
as a team that you guys feel like you need to improve on moving forward?
We definitely have an emphasis on defense. That was our big thing going into today. We didn't do a great job of that our last game this week, so our main goal was to box out, get boards, and we did that, and we were able to capitalize on the offensive end. And that's what helped us to win, so we just got to keep doing that moving forward.
All right, Molly, congratulations. 1-0 in the Maple League, now 7-1 overall. That's Molly Taylor. We'll be right back here on the Strive Network. back in Hightstown, New Jersey for Game 2 of our doubleheader to the Peddie Falcons and the Mercersburg Academy Blue Storm. They're doing battle in boys basketball. Simon Rose here with Jason Hansel. We're going to go through our pregame elements as the first quarter goes on, as obviously the players are already on the floor. And we're getting set for the first quarter. Jason, thanks for joining us.
Great to be here, Simon. Very excited. It's been a fun basketball season so far for Peddie, so we're excited to watch him here today.
All right, Jason. Well, we're happy to have you aboard. As we are off and running, Peddie wins the tip, and they immediately score.
Yeah, Tyler Jones on that take there, off a nice dish by Dan Largy.
And Peddie coming out in some full court pressure. As Mercersburg now with their first possession here. Mercersburg Academy 3-6, the Peddie Falcons 8-3. Good dish underneath, but no finish there from Jake Rist. In the corner, Miles Herron dishes to Luka Chevalier. This is going to be a tough name for me to say. Chevalyevich, and I'm going to have to say it a lot because he is their leading scorer, 19 points per game. This is Miles Herron, who is deflected short, and Peddie coming the other way.
So one thing Peddie likes to do is they like to push the ball. They love relentless pressure, both offensively and defensively.
That three-pointer no good from Jeremiah Ferguson. And the first time we've seen the pace slow just a bit as Carlos Austin, the point guard for Mercersburg, brings up the Blue Storm and the Peddie Falcons playing in their opening game in the Maple schedule. So obviously a little bit more on the line in this matchup.
Yeah, this is really the second season for these programs. This is where things get serious, and that was a nice shot there by Mercersburg to go up 3-2.
Yep, that's Chevalievich, Luka Chevalievich, who is a 43% three-point shooter. He shoots better from three-point land than he does from two-point land, which you don't often see.
Well,
but
European players, they like that three.
That's right. He's a Canadian-Serbian player, so he's got roots in Serbia, but is technically listed on the roster as from Toronto, Ontario. The senior, he puts Mercersburg up 3-2. However, Peddie, with a foul on the other end, is at the line. And knocked in the first one by Jeremiah Ferguson, who's averaging 15 points per game in their last contest against Westtown. Jeremiah had 17 and 10.
Yeah, Ferguson is really Peddie's best on-ball defender. He's a talented postgraduate from Illinois. His brother's actually one of the top running backs coming out of the draft this year from Illinois.
How about that?
Yeah.
University of Illinois.
University of Illinois, yes.
Oh, wow.
Josh Ferguson.
It's 3-3 here in the early going as Mercersburg works in the half court. This is Austin in the corner. Didn't have anywhere to go with the ball, so it's Largy all the way in, no good. And the follow and finish by Jack Weber, a forward from New York.
Yeah, Jack's a new junior here at Peddie. Came over from the Dalton school. Peddie hasn't had a guy his size in a while. He's a nice, big physical presence in the middle and does a nice job on that rebound.
Mercersburg Academy coached by Sean Crocker in his first season as the head man. He succeeded Tim Crouch. He came over from Stuart Hall, where he led Stuart Hall to 18 victories in his last season there coaching. He also coached at the collegiate level, as this one is no good from Herron.
Looks like Ferguson pulled up a little bit. I don't know if it's an ankle or a cramp, but they're going to bring him out.
The injury timeout stops play, as Jason mentioned. Jeremiah Ferguson comes off. In steps Joshua Itakudo.
It's actually Terrell Prince.
Yep. Terrell Prince has stepped into the game for him. This is Largy, no good. Dan Largy, claiming that ball was tipped, is coming off a 44-point performance in their last game against Westtown. It was a 75-68 win for Peddie here in Hightstown.
Yeah, a heck of a game. Westtown is loaded with talent. Several sort of Division I type guys on that team, and Dan just stepped up and and lit it up from the outside, from the inside, and had a heck of a game.
He had 7 3-pointers in that game. He had 17 points in the fourth quarter. That game went to overtime. He had 9 in overtime.
Yeah, he was.
So he had 26 in crunch time, did Dan Largy, as this one is thrown away by Mercersburg. Having a little bit of an issue in the half court. 5-3 here in the early going. Simon Rose and Jason Hansel here, just under 3 minutes into this first quarter.
Mercersburg are bringing a little pressure here in the front court.
Nearly force a turnover. Peddie does well to retain possession, but not for long, as Terrell Prince, the sophomore from College Park, Georgia, could not handle the possession out of bounds. Out steps Jack Weber, and back in comes Jeremiah Ferguson. So just a little bit of a tweak from Ferguson as Mercersburg throws it away, and Peddie will now have it here in the half court. Tyler Jones gives off to Ferguson. Leans up with the left hand. Good defense there by Mercersburg Academy's Chevalievich.
Yeah, both teams look a little sloppy to start here. I think they're just getting a little, adjusting a little bit. Hopefully they'll step up.
Chevalievich all the way in, and he kisses it off the glass. He's got 5 points. All 5 of Mercersburg points, in fact.
That was a nice, smooth move by Chevalievich.
Mercersburg coming off a season. They were 4-15. They were 0-7 in the Maple, so they're looking for their first Maple win in over 2 years. As this three-pointer, no good. Right back to Ferguson. Largy working hard off the glass in his first 2 points. Dan Largy, the post-grad from Oceanport, New Jersey, is on the board, and Peddie has a 7-5 lead halfway through the first quarter. Austin lost his footing at half court, and unfortunate that it happened there because he went back court and the violation is called.
Yeah, Peddie likes to play a really full court man, aggressive defense the entire game. That's sort of their philosophy, is just to be relentless and kind of wear teams down, and solid example of that right there. Simon, as you were saying, the Maple League is just so tough. You've got Blair Academy, who's a perennial powerhouse, and Hill is always good, and Hunn's very good, and so it's a tough league.
As well, yeah, it is among the most competitive leagues, of course, in the entire country. Very prestigious league is the Maple, and Mercersburg and Peddie. These 2 teams are 2 very important parts of it, as Jeremiah Ferguson hits the 3. Ferguson averages 15 points per game. He now doubles Peddie's lead. Peddie is doubling up Mercersburg. 10-5. A foul here is going to be called, I believe, on Ferguson. It is.
Yeah, again, that aggressive trapping defense right up top there. And Ferguson, hit that 3. He's not really a three-point shooter. He's more of a slasher kind of guy, but he's not afraid to pull up and shoot it.
Mercersburg Academy looking to snap a 3-game losing streak, as Ferguson cannot finish. He got all the way up, but then hit it off the back iron.
You can see the Peddie coaches are grimacing a little down there at that.
Yeah, it's finish first and then flash second,
right.
And Ferguson was not able to finish. 3-pointer in the corner. Well, in the end, they get an extra point out of it. A 3 is cashed by Adavita Kadayala. Another tough name to say.
Yeah, it is a tough one.
Yeah, the junior from Princeton Junction, New Jersey.
Also a new junior, heck of a shooter. Really, really tough if he can set up outside, and he can really shoot the 3, and as he showed right there.
This foul is going to be called against Tyler Jones. So already 5 different Peddie Falcons have scored, already showing their depth. By the way, if you're just joining us, this is game 2 of our doubleheader. We saw the Mercersburg Academy ladies put together a very impressive performance here against the Peddie Falcons. They win 51-33. The Mercersburg ladies looking like they're going to be a force to be reckoned with in the Maple League.
And that's exciting for Mercersburg. The league was long dominated by Peddie, and then Blair had sort of taken over the last 6 years. They've been the dominant team, and it looks like Mercersburg has a really nice squad that can really challenge for that championship.
And not only on the girls' side, but the guys' side's coming along as well, as all the way to the hole, and a 2-point bucket for Elliot Hicks. Hicks, the 6'4" senior from Mercersburg. We saw him on the soccer field when Peddie played Mercersburg, as Carlos Austin will look to take it coast to coast. He's going to go to the line. Elliot Hicks is that presence that Mercersburg has on the soccer field. On the offensive side, he's got that 6'4" frame, and he's got that vicious head ball. He actually scored against Peddie in that game. But he's got some good length on the basketball court as well for Mercersburg. This is Carlos Austin, though, missing the first free throw. Austin averaging 11 points per game, still yet to get on the board here in this one. From Washington, D.C., he's a junior. Got good time as a sophomore last year and was actually named by Mercersburg Academy as their most improved player. So he's going to be a key piece of Mercersburg moving forward, as Mr. Austin is just a junior.
Yeah, Coach Crocker new this year. I think he's really going to do a great job in building the program, and you're seeing those building blocks in place already.
Open three here. It's Terrell Prince, and he gets in on the scoring action. The 6th Peddie Falcon to score. It's 16-8.
Yeah, one of the things Coach Rilowich really preaches is unselfish basketball. So these guys are not, there's no ego there. These guys are sharing the ball, and you see that today.
You mentioned Coach Woolwich. He's in his 10th year. He used to coach at Ursinus College. He was on the coaching staff there for 6 years, but he's done a nice job with this program. They're averaging 13 wins per season during his tenure. They've got a Prep A championship, and he was actually a good player in his own right at Haverford College. He was an 1,000-point scorer there.
Yep, his name's up on the wall at Haverford, and he's he's just one of those coaches you'd want your kid to play for. He's just a class act. Teaches the right way and real positive, and as you said, he's done a really nice job here.
Good position in the post for Eli Riley of Mercersburg Academy. Another three ball, and it is raining threes from Hightstown. Jeremiah Ferguson with his second triple, and Peddie as a team their 4th. They lead 19-10. As Chevalievich cannot get it to go, and on the follow we've got a foul. Adam Collins got the rebound and then was bumped.
Looks like that's on Ferguson, which is his second already, pretty early in the game.
We'll see if Coach Woolwich keeps him in the game. It looks like he's going to. Certainly something that Mr. Ferguson will have to be aware of, as wide open underneath, and that one rolled out for Eli Riley. Mercersburg retaining possession, but it's a traveling violation, and that one hurts if you're Mercersburg. They execute the inbounds play perfectly, but they cannot finish.
Yeah, it was sort of a flashback. He was wide open under the basket and just missed it. And that was one of those where it was almost too easy.
Quick glance at the clock for Tyler Jones, under 45 seconds. Here in the first quarter, it's a 9-point Falcon lead. Ferguson steps into another three. Yes!
Ferguson is feeling it today.
He's got 10 points in the first quarter, and Jeremiah Ferguson has given Peddie a 12-point lead. Chevalievich had nowhere to go with the ball, so it's a turnover. Tyler Jones, what control of his body in the air, and he finishes off the glass. It's 24-10.
Yeah, Jones is he's just a prototypical point guard, but as you say, great body control and can pass, can shoot, can score. He's a great addition to Peddie this year.
Quick timeout called by Sean Crocker, and since we just mentioned Coach Crocker's name and we didn't get a chance to highlight him in the pregame show, let's take a look at the coach's corner. Sean Crocker in his first season for Mercersburg Academy. He's got a bachelor's from Connecticut College. He's got his master's from Tufts University. He's a mathematics teacher. He's got a specialty in computer science. Again, he was the 3-year head coach at the Stewart School, but he's also worked at the college level, coaching both in basketball and in tennis. He worked as an assistant at Washington and Lee University, Tufts University, Wheelock College, and Framingham State College. So a very nice addition to the program for Mr. Crocker, for Mercersburg, to have Sean Crocker coming in They're very excited to have him aboard again, succeeding Tim Crouch as the head coach. This is his first Maple League game, so he's getting a little taste of Maple League basketball here in Hightstown for the first time. Time winding down. It's Austin who could not get the shot up, and the buzzer sounds. That'll do it for the first quarter. After one, 24-10. It's Peddie on top of Mercersburg. You're watching Maple League basketball right here on the Strive Network. To the action here as the second quarter gets underway. Simon Rose and Jason Hansel here from the Peddie School in Hightstown. Peddie leading 24-10. This is Chevalievich spinning into the lane and drawing contact. Luka Chevalievich. And I know that's the pronunciation of the name because I asked him to his face right before the game.
I'm glad you did. There's no way I could have gotten that.
That's a tough one. The Serbian the Serbian Canadian, averaging 19 points per game, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. You see his height, and you kind of assume that he's a forward or post player, but he obviously can play that position, but he makes his living from beyond the arc. He's an incredible three-point shooter at 43%. He's a 74% free throw shooter, though 50% at that trip. And he's got 6 points in this game.
Yeah, and Mercersburg is actually having him bring the ball up. They want the ball in his hands
as much as possible.
Yeah.
There's Tyler Jones, who's got 6 now on the game.
Yeah, Jones just really tough to defend one-on-one. He just takes it to the basket, makes an easy layup.
And Peddie continues their full court pressure. They're really challenging the ball handlers of Mercersburg Academy.
Yeah, Simon, they'll put that pressure on all day, every game. That's their philosophy. So they try to wear teams down with that.
If you kind of play in that style, you've got to have kind of a deep bench because legs tend to get a little bit more tired more quickly when you're running up and down the floor like that. And I assume Peddie goes fairly deep into their bench because of that fact.
Yeah, they do. They go 8, 9 deep. They'll go to their 8th and 9th guy a bit. And but these guys, they work really hard in practice. I've watched them practice, and they get after it every day. So they're in pretty good shape.
Jump shot no good for Mercersburg, as Tyler Jones will kick it back out. Another 3 attempt, this one no good. And brought down by Chevalievich. That was Terrell Prince who looked to get in from beyond the arc. Chevalievich spinning in, and a beautiful pass, an assist for Chevalievich, and a bucket for Eli Riley.
Yeah, that was a great take by Chevalievich, and beautiful dish.
Riley averaging 8 points per game, 6.5 boards. Sophomore from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Tyler Jones for Lloyd. And now back to Jones. Relatively quiet first half for Dan Largy. Only scoring 2 points. He scored 44 in his last game.
Yeah, again, I think that's sort of the Peddie philosophy is I guarantee you Largy will get his. He'll get hot here.
Speak of the devil, he's coming back into the game, and so is Jeremiah Ferguson. A few substitutions for Mercersburg as well.
But Coach Rulich really preaches that unselfish basketball, and guys really work the ball around. And so right now they're not making it easy for Largy to get the ball, but Ferguson just got an easy layup there.
Yeah, Ferguson has been the stud of the first half for Peddie, no doubt about that, though that is just his first 2-point field goal. We take another look on the replay as Carlos Austin is committed the foul. It is the second against Mercersburg as a team, and a 3-point play the hard way for Jeremiah Ferguson after 3 threes, the easy way, you could say, in the first quarter. He has 9, 10, 13 points already. There's 2 minutes in here into the second quarter. Carlos Austin all the way, coast to coast. Austin with his first field goal. He's got 3.
Really pretty move by Austin, taking it to the hole, spinning. Nice play.
Good looking ball handler is Austin. This is Largy from deep, and man, his range limitless.
Yeah, and that's such a beautiful looking shot. It just looks perfect coming out, and it goes down a lot.
He will get his. That's 5 for Largy. As Austin able to roll it in. 4 quick ones for Carlos Austin. And Largy quickly steps into a 3 again, and man, how do you make it look that easy? He was guarded, and now he kicks this one out of bounds. But
he's got that great length, like, you know, and so he's hard to guard, and he's as you said, Simon, he's got such range. He can really be several feet beyond the arc, and still, it just looks so beautiful when he shoots that. So
2 of the best 3-point shooters that the Maple League has to offer on display here. Dan Largy and Luka Chevalievich. This is Rubino. Chevalievich from deep. No good.
That was very deep, and it was very close too, but he was way outside the arc.
These kids can shoot from NBA range.
They really can.
Carlos Austin picks up the loose ball, and he will make his move in. Largy got a touch. The follow, not once but twice by Chevalievich. He could not get it to go. And now Peddie moving right to left. Largy lost it, and last touch by him out of bounds.
But you can see that pace, Simon. Peddie just running up and down the floor constantly, constant running, and you almost see a little bit of some of the Mercersburg guys getting tired.
So 4:37 to go here in the second quarter. It's a 35-17 lead for the Peddie Falcons. They've been hot offensively as Mercersburg brings in, trying to escape that pressure, and Carlos Austin was lucky that was touched by a Peddie Falcon as they continue to try to trap here on the near side. Austin able to get it into the backcourt. This is Elliott Hicks. And back down to Carlos Austin. Miles Herron, also a member of the Mercersburg Academy soccer team. Leaning in was Chevalievich, left it short. It's Ferguson running the break. And now Tyler Jones finding Largy, in and out. A few players going up for that ball. It's Chevalievich who went up for the rebound and gets called for the loose ball foul.
Yeah, that was one of those that probably could go either way. Both guys went up for that, and Chevalievich maybe just got a hold of an arm there.
And he's going to have to take a seat on the bench. Will Chevalievich, so the most potent offensive weapon for Mercersburg, no longer in the ball game for the time being. Attacking, and an offensive foul called. Jason Maggot.
Yeah, Maggot, second year on the varsity. Didn't play a lot last year, but getting a lot of minutes starting this year. Really steady player.
Take another look at this charge. Let's see who it was that drew it. Well done by Jake Rist of Mercersburg Academy. And a few players hit the ground on that most recent play, so the referee is going to wipe the perspiration off the floor, make sure nobody trips because of it. Going to look at Ryan Bennett, who's right there at the baseline, the towel boy, if you will, along with his duties as the technology director.
He essentially runs the place, but he also wipes down the sweat on the floor too.
Of course, Ryan Bennett with more than one connection in this game, as he was the technology coordinator at Mercersburg Academy for such a long time. Wow. Ferguson to Largy. Ferguson came away with the steal, and then cutting was Largy with the finish.
Yeah, really pretty teamwork there. Ferguson with great vision.
It's a 20-point lead here for Peddie. But yeah, back to Ryan Bennett. He does a great job. He does a phenomenal job, obviously, at Mercersburg. He helped us when we were doing broadcasts there in the past few years, and then he jumps over to Peddie and has done a phenomenal job with us trying to get set up for all the football games that we did. A very pleasant person to work with.
Yeah, he's outstanding. It's a great addition to the Peddie community, and I'm sure, you know, he was there at Mercersburg for a long time. I'm sure they miss him, but we're certainly happy to have him here.
3:25 to go here in the second quarter as substitution coming in for Peddie. Michael Yu checking into the game, relieving Jason Magid.
Michael's a senior, hard-working kid, plays with that relentless pace, and great to see him get some time today.
So a foul shot, or foul shots coming here for Jake Rist. One no good. It was a 1-and-1, as it was the 7th team foul against Peddie. Front end missed. Mercersburg gets the ball back. Well done there by Elliott Hicks. We mentioned that length. He gets like 2 steps in from the three-point line, and he's able to finish. Largy has a lot of time to line it up, and usually that's not good news for the defense, but he misses there.
Yeah, that one was just in and out, but yes, Smith is just, Hicks, I'm sorry, is just really long and just a really solid player. You know, you can see those soccer skills and the way he moves out there.
This is Ferguson stepping back, no good. Offensive rebound, and now cutting is Ferguson. Another and one for Ferguson. Jeremiah Ferguson continues his hot play. He's headed to the free throw line for one more. It's going to be his second three-point play opportunity of the quarter.
Yeah, Ferguson is having a great day. He got a little banged up the other day. He had a sore thumb. You can see it taped up today, but he's having a heck of a game.
Misses the free throw. Another steal by Peddie. Ferguson, quick swing to Largy, who will go for a more high percentage shot and miss, and then also commit the foul on the rebound.
Largy's frustrated with himself there. He just missed that layup, but it was a nice slashing take by him. Yeah, Peddie thus far has gotten everybody off the bench. I think they're waiting on one more guy to get in there, and hopefully he'll get the...
Yeah, but they've kept that aggressive pressure up for the entirety of this game, and they've also gotten the they've played aggressive defense, and in turn, the foul numbers are up. So they're in the bonus, our Mercersburg Academy. They've got a 1-and-1 here, and hitting the front end is Elliott Hicks, who is 14 for 14, now 15 for 15 on the season from the free throw line.
Wow.
That's impressive stuff.
Very impressive. 16, make it 16.
Not even close to missing there, nothing but nylon on both. And he brings Mercersburg within 17 points. We were just flying through this game, not a ton of stoppages.
No,
only timeout called at the end of the first quarter by Sean Crocker. Jeremiah Ferguson, no look pass to you. And a three is short off the hands of Tyler Jones.
A lot of great ball movement there. Lots of guys having looks, but kept making that extra pass to give guys, you know, a wide open look by Jones just came a little short.
Very fast moving offense for Peddie. As Mercersburg brings in here, Carlos Austin will look to get rid of the pressure. A great test for Mercersburg Academy.
Yeah, they're young. I mean, they're going to get, and you know, Crocker's going to get this team better, and but they're battling here.
This is Austin off back iron. The rebound by Joshua Itakudo.
A lot of new guys on this Peddie roster this year. Itakudo's new, Jones is new. Obviously, our two PGs, but Larry Ross is out there, who we remember from the football season. So.
Yep. This is Tyler Jones as Peddie wants to take their time here as they work in the half court. Itakudo trying to work on wrist. And this one won't go. Austin finds it, and he's got room in transition. Carlos Austin able to finish.
Yeah, Austin's really impressing me. He's quick. He can take it to the basket. You know, he's only a junior, and he's going to be good.
Tyler Jones able to step in and hit. He's got 8 points. Yeah, Carlos Austin. Again, he's from Washington, D.C. He was named the most improved player, so he started to hit his strides as a basketball player at the end of last season, and he has carried that hot play into this season. And it's always important to have a quality ball handler if you want to be a successful basketball team, and Mercersburg Academy certainly has that.
Yeah, he's a good one. They've got him for 2 years now, and that's I think he'll be a key building block for Coach Crocker these next 2 years.
Here's Austin. Finding Miles Herron. Sporting a ponytail today. Austin trying to get by Ferguson, and Ferguson got a hand in there with 13 seconds to go. Here comes Chevalievich. He took a seat on the bench after he picked up his most recent foul.
I think we'll look to see Mercersburg maybe get a play here to get Chevalievich a look here beyond the arc.
If you're going to put him in the game, you're likely going to put the ball in his hands to shoot it. So look for number 33. They're looking for Herron now, and they get it into Austin, who will quick trigger and knock it down from the baseline. Carlos Austin leading Mercersburg with 9 points. 5 seconds to go. One last look for Peddie. And an athletic move, no good. Chevalievich unable to get a full court heave off in time. So after one half of play, the Peddie Falcons at home lead Mercersburg Academy 41-26. We'll come back and we'll get the third quarter for you, when we return after this. For now, take a look at Mercersburg Academy. back we come to Hightstown as halftime claws to a close. We had an abbreviated pregame show, if any pregame show, so we missed some of our elements. Let's take a look at our spotlight. Lukas Chevalievich, we've mentioned his name plenty of times throughout the broadcast. He's knocked down a few three-pointers during this game. He's got 6 points on the ball game, which isn't necessarily in his capability. 29 three-pointers in 8 games, so now he's got 33s on the season. He was named to the all-tournament team at Chestnut Hill Academy when they played in that tournament and just before the turn of the year. Had to sit out a good portion of that first half in foul trouble as Peddie picking up right where they left off. Tyler Jones with his first three-pointer of the game, but he had 8 points in the first half, and now 11 total on the ball game.
Yeah, Mercersburg came out a pretty aggressive man-to-man, but Peddie, great ball movement, got a nice look for a three for Jones.
He's Jason Hansel. I'm Simon Rose. We are the Strive Network. That is Dan Largy cashing another three. And very quickly, Sean Crocker calls a timeout just 42 seconds into the third quarter as Peddie knocks down 2 three-pointers. We said Largy was quiet early on. You said, hey, don't worry, he'll get his. And he has. He's got 3 three-pointers on the game, 2 two-point field goals for 13 points. And Peddie now leads 47-26.
Yeah, it's tough to stop Dan Largy. He gets that open look, and he's a deadly three-point shooter, but he can also take it to the basket, and he's a great passer too. He's a complete player and been a great addition to Peddie this year.
Let's take a look at the Maple League standings last season. You mentioned Blair Academy, a perennial powerhouse. They were 7-0 last year in the Maple. Peddie finished in the middle of the pack at 4-5, and Mercersburg didn't have too much success at 0-6, but now Coach Crocker has come in, a new face in the program. There he is, as he looks to put his mark on the program, looking for his first win in the Maple League. And this is actually his first contest in the Maple League. Back to the action as Ferguson receives the inbounds. It goes off of a Mercersburg player out of bounds.
Yeah, Crocker, it seems like these Maple coaches all went to really good schools, coached at really good schools. You talk a little bit about his background, and he's a pretty smart guy.
Yeah, he certainly is. Went to Tufts University as Largy from Mercersburg knocks it down.
Largy was barely behind the half-court mark, and he just buried it.
4-3 for Largy on the game. Mercersburg looking to answer with a three of their own, but Elliott Hicks could not cash it. It's 50-26 Peddie as Largy finds Ferguson. What quick ball movement and an open jump shot for Jason Magid, and the crowd goes wild as he knocks it through. Another Peddie Falcon scores in this game. He is the 7th.
Yeah, just great unselfish basketball. Maggot's not known as a scorer, but he's a great team player and got him a great open look.
Ferguson is known as a scorer, and he puts in another 2. 17 points on the game for Jeremiah Ferguson.
Peddie still with the pressure here.
Carlos Austin with a good-looking play. He drew contact, finished and won for Carlos Austin. He is leading his team in scoring. In this particular game, he did have 9 points in the first half, now 11, looking for 12 at the line.
Yeah, Austin with a great handle, but he's shown he can really take it to the basket with authority and finish.
Foul was on Ferguson. I believe that's his 3rd, as he rattles out the free throw. Largy the rebound, and Peddie looking to run quickly as always. Up ahead into the front court. This is Jack Weber. And Magid called for the double dribble.
Yeah, Peddie staying with his full court press. I think, Simon, their general rule is if they're up 30, they pull it off, and they're almost there, but they're gonna keep it on until they hit that 30 mark.
Mercersburg still feels like they have a shot to win this game, you would hope.
Yeah, I think
but the comeback would have to start sooner rather than later,
right,
no doubt.
Right.
Long three won't go for Miles Heron. Chevalievich able to save it, but then Peddie takes it away. Tyler Jones receives the outlet pass, trying to skip it baseline, couldn't get it through.
Yeah, Largy was set up for a three in that corner. Couldn't quite get it to him.
He's got such a quick trigger, does Largy as well. He really needs just a moment to get that ball up, and usually it's good.
Yeah, quick release. You're right. I mean, we've seen some good shooters here at Peddie the last 6 years. Some guys that are playing at Columbia, and I'd have to say Largy has the purest, nicest looking shot I've seen in 6 years here.
Peddie with the ball here on the inbounds after the foul against Mercersburg. Tyler Jones quickly in play, a cutting Largy. Last touch by Mercersburg though, and they'll try again. Ferguson finds Jones. Bounce pass it in, the feed to Weber. Makes a really nice move, could not finish though. He really faked out his post defender and Eli Riley. And then committed the foul on the follow.
Yeah, a little frustrated, just missed that left-hander, but it was a pretty move and had the layup but just couldn't quite finish it.
In play to Chevalievich. As he has some nifty dribbling, able to retain possession somehow. This is Carlos Austin, 1-on-2. Chevalievich open for three. He has not been able to get it going. Gets it back here. He's open again. Shakes off a defender and drills it this time. Chevalievich able to set his feet and knock in his second three-pointer of the game.
Yeah, and he actually had an opportunity to take that to the basket. He took his feet back and made sure he hit that three. He's a nice shooter as well.
So the score 55-31. Mercersburg Academy trailing Peddie here in the home of the Falcons in Hightstown, New Jersey. Tyler Jones gives it a go from deep, and he knocks it down.
These Peddie kids, they have the green light to shoot that three, and they're not afraid to do it, and they're pretty successful at making those.
11 three-pointers for Peddie in this game. This is Chevalievich. Thought about the three, but Magid got in to defend him. Now Chevalievich trying to have his way. Pops out to him. And Elliott Hicks. Heron. Now Austin. Chevalievich with a quick trigger, and he knocks it down. Second in a row for Luka Chevalievich.
Chevalievich also has that quick release. He, as soon as he catches, he gets right in that shooting position, ready to let it go, and he got that off and just so quickly. There was no chance to defend that.
He's got all the makings of a good player at the next level as well. At 6'6", that quick release, as Jason just mentioned, and an accurate three-point range. Under 4 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Jones in the corner, guarded by Hicks. Long cross-court pass to Largy. Almost the travel, but Peddie able to retain, and this time it's Dylan Lloyd, who hasn't scored for Peddie.
Yeah, Lloyd is actually a really good golfer. Also plays basketball, and he's a really smooth shooter as well. Can hit that three.
He is now the 8th Peddie Falcon to score in this game. They are spreading the wealth. Tyler Jones quickly steps into a three, and that one is good. Third three ball of the third quarter for Tyler Jones. Another timeout is called on the floor by Sean Crocker of Mercersburg Academy. It's 64-34, right at that 30-point mark, where Peddie usually takes their press back a little bit.
Yeah, they usually play that fast-paced, full-court press and push the ball relentlessly, but I think at that 30 mark they might pull it back here. We'll see, Simon, if that holds true here.
Let's take a look at the Mercersburg Academy upcoming schedule as Maple League play has started. This is the first game of the Maple League season, and they'll play Hun at home. They'll play Kiski at home. They'll play in the Independent Pennsylvania League Basketball Championships. Those are on January 23rd. At Blair on the 24th. At Middleburg Academy on the 26th. And Hill, Shenandoah Valley, and Lawrenceville to wrap up the Maple League season for Mercersburg Academy. Here with under 3 minutes to go in the third quarter, it's 64 to 34. Simon Rose and Jason Hansel for game 2 of 2 from Hightstown today.
And Peddie, looks like Peddie did pull off that press, so they only guarding at half court.
Deep three from Chevalievich. It was just off the mark. He'll get the long rebound back. Come all the way in, and Chevalievich with some really good persistence is able to get the 2.
Yeah, he just tough follow-up, and he showed some athleticism there too.
Jeremiah Ferguson, remember him? He had 15 in the first half. He's been relatively quiet as far as his standards are concerned in the third quarter. But he knocks down a 3, and Peddie now up 31. Inside, a bucket.
Great no-look pass by Stevalievich to find his man, and easy layup for Mercersburg there.
That was Eli Riley with his 6th point of the game. Jeremiah Ferguson eventually gets it into the corner, and this one is hit by Terrell Prince. This is insane, the amount of three-pointers that are being shot by Peddie.
Yeah, Peddie's just lighting it up from behind the arc, and
Chevalievich scoops in 2.
And again, Chevalievich keeps showing his athleticism. He could shoot it, but he also could take it to the hole and finish, and he's a nice player.
8 of the 9 buckets that Peddie has in this third quarter are three-pointers.
Probably by about 4 or 5 different kids.
5, in fact. Ferguson. Now Jones. All he needs is a few feet, and he got it up there. No good. On the follow, it's a foul. It's going to be against Chevalievich. He's not happy with the call. As some substitutions come in for Mercersburg Academy.
Yeah, that's one of those tough calls where both players are reaching for the ball, jumping up, and the body's hit, and sometimes it's where the angle for the official.
Just over a minute to go here in the third quarter. Ferguson thought about the 3 and ends up taking the 3, misses though. Carlos Austin has the long rebound. Strong move by Elliott Hicks. Baseline drive and a bucket for Hicks. He's got 10.
Yeah, great move there by Hicks to the baseline, beats his man, and finishes strong at the basket.
Ferguson for 3 in the corner, short.
Maybe the legs are catching up with this Peddie guys a little bit. Was a little short on that one.
Austin. And now Adam Collins into the game for Mercersburg off the bench. Chevalievich behind his back, finishes and 1.
Wow, that was a pretty move.
Insane move by Chevalievich. We take one more look. Behind his back and in the air, he's able to retain possession after he was fouled and puts it in and 1. Wow.
That was a big-time move. This kid's he's heating up a little bit here in the third quarter. But he's showing why he'll be playing at the next level.
He's got 11 points here in the third quarter alone to Chevalievich. That was awesome.
Yeah,
I can't get over that move.
That was
insane.
Yeah.
As time winds down here in the third quarter, I'm sure we'll have a few more highlights coming from both teams in the fourth. But after 3 quarters of play, it's a 70-45 Peddie School lead in Hightstown. You're watching Maple League basketball right here on the Strive Network. Back we come to Hightstown, where it's a 70-45 lead for the Peddie School. Simon Rose and Jason Hansel back with you as Mercersburg Academy will take out. Still trying to get over that last move that Luka Chevalievich made at the end of the third quarter, the and one.
Yeah, that's a highlight for the year, man.
Oh, certainly.
Yeah.
We'll be playing that back on the Strive Network all year long. This is Rubino.
Wow.
Nice move for him.
Yeah.
He gets it off the glass and good.
Nice left hand by Rubino, who looks a little more like a football player. Number 44 there.
Ferguson in the paint. Largy from deep, off to the left. And working hard for Peddie was Joshua Itakudo, but he could not get it to go.
Yeah, great rebound by Itakudo, just could not finish, had a couple shots at it.
Carlos Austin guarded tightly by Terrell Prince. Austin will give it a go, and it was defended well by Peddie. Ferguson skipping it back to you. Not you, Jason Hansel, but Michael Yu.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
6-foot guard from Edgewater, New Jersey.
Michael played under our JV program and was one of our toughest players.
Yeah, worth mentioning that, Jason, you are one of the coaches for the JV squad here at Peddie. How'd you guys fare today?
That is true. We had a good day today. We beat a tough Notre Dame program by 15, so it was a good day for the JV program.
There you go. Now here involved with the varsity program as well as a commentator, as Carlos Austin could not get it to go. This is Largy getting by Sevelievich, throwing it up with his right hand. It was good, but Carlos Austin stood his ground. It's a charge against Largy.
Yeah, nice move by Largy. He switches hands so easily. He went from the left. He's a lefty, but used his right there, but a little aggressive. A great stop there by Austin to step in and take that charge.
Foul here against Peddie off the ball. They're guarding Chevalievich tightly. That full court press is back in effect.
Yeah, drop.
As Mercersburg has done a nice job in the last 5 minutes or so to cut the lead to 23.
Yep. They're looking to get that ball into Chevalievich, but Peddie's just not going to let him catch it.
So quick defensively are these Falcons. They are reading the eyes of the passer, and they are stepping into those passing lanes and making it very difficult to complete any passes if you're Mercersburg.
Yeah, it's really a big part of Coach Rulich's philosophy is to get these quick guys who can really guard, and he's really got that sort of in the program right now.
Chevalievich, and he's having himself a second half.
Yeah, he's just making plays.
If he's missing, he's following his own miss, and he's scoring in that regard. So in the second half, he's got 15 points. On the game, he has eclipsed 20. He's got 21. Terrell Prince cannot get the roll.
Yeah, give Mercersburg credit. They're battling. They're playing hard,
no doubt.
and they are not giving up here.
This is a Maple League test, so you have got to play tough throughout if you're going to be in this league, and the Blue Storms certainly have a place in the Maple. Prince off the glass and good. Prince has 8. Sophomore from College Park, Georgia.
Yeah, Prince, another one of the new guys to the program. Just joined Peddie this year as a new sophomore.
Austin hit every part of the basket, but it wouldn't go down for him. Eli Riley is set to check in for Mercersburg. Same can be said for Larry Ross of Peddie. 5 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. One was deflected into the backcourt, and a timeout is called by Joe Rulewich. He has let things go for the most part in this game because his team has played so well throughout. But he does call a timeout here as his player was backed up at half court.
Yeah, it looked like he also wanted to get some of his subs in. Let's get Larry Ross some time here.
forget you can go to the Mercersburg store. Visit the store at mercersburgstore.com. And you can check out the appropriate place for all of your Mercersburg Academy apparel. Really nice website there at mercersburgstore.com. By the way, here are your NJ Prep rankings. St. Benedict's Prep 12-0 is atop the New Jersey Prep basketball rankings. Then you've got Blair right behind. Peddie's at 6-3. Hun and Lawrenceville wrap up the top 5. We've got number 2 and number 3 coming for you. That matchup will be right here on the Strive Network from Blair Academy on January 23rd. That's one you want to mark on your calendar. Going to be a fun one to watch. Peddie versus Blair. Always a extremely fun rivalry, extremely fun rivalry to broadcast. As Jason, you know well, we did the Peddie Blair football game this past fall.
Yep, it's a great rivalry, and it holds through over every sport from winter to spring. And yeah, again, as we talked about in the fall, tons of respect for both schools, mutual respect from both schools, and just a lot of fun for the communities.
4:45 to go in the fourth quarter. The 8th and final quarter of basketball we saw here on the Strive Network today. Remember, Mercersburg Academy's ladies took down the Peddie ladies in the first game of our doubleheader in very impressive fashion, as Shevelyevich took a lot of contact there from Larry Ross. Nice view of sportsmanship as Larry Ross helps him up. He was fouled, was Shevelyevich.
I think we need Ryan Bennett back out there to get
where's the towel boy?
The towel.
There he is. He's on the left side of your screen, just hanging out against the wall.
He's not moving, though.
Mercersburg trying to work in the half court. That was Tyler Jones who knocked it out of bounds.
Again, Mercersburg really battling here. They're playing hard on defense. They're working the ball around.
Austin makes the handoff here. Goes all the way in and put it up too strong. Peddie moving quickly in transition. Jones spins it back. Now we'll drive baseline. Leaves it off nicely for Ross. Easy enough for him. Larry Ross on the board. He is the 9th Peddie Falcon to score.
Yeah, beautiful dish by Jones, attacking the basket. Ross's guy dropped off to help and gave him the easy one for the layup.
Tyler Jones is a guy that obviously is a very important piece of this Peddie offense. He's the one that controls the ball at the point guard position. He's averaging 5 assists per game. Had 7 points and 6 assists against Westtown in that game a few days ago.
Yeah, he's just so solid with the ball. He doesn't turn it over. Great vision. He's just sort of the perfect, the prototypical point guard. But he can also score it a little bit. As we see today, Simon, he's shot, I think, made 3 threes already today.
Jones gives it off to Magid, who plays catch with Tyler Jones, gives it right back to him. This one out of bounds, and it's actually a turnover against Tyler Jones. Just when you made the point that he doesn't turn the ball over, he does there.
Of course. I jinxed him.
The curse of the commentator,
That's
as
right.
they call it. And Jones is going to stay out there, though a number of Peddie Falcons are back into the game, and same can be said for Mercersburg Academy, as Shevelyevich is among those taking a seat.
Yeah, Coach Rulovich choosing to keep Jones in there to probably just keep it stable. He's got some of the guys who don't see as much time always, but still all quality players.
It's always important at this point when you've got a competitive game, and especially a Maple League game, as Austin leaves it short, and it's cleaned up by Daniel Bowes. He is a newcomer into the game from Washington, D.C. He puts it in. Even if the game is not that competitive, it's still important for these coaches to utilize all of the minutes that they have in the game and get the players some experience getting on the floor, right, to get in there. Even if some of their players don't play that much, they want to get them into these games to get them used to playing in the kind of environment, in a real competitive environment like this.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, some of these guys, as the season goes on, if there's an injury, some of these guys are really going to have to step up and play valuable minutes. And also, you're building for the future, Simon. I mean, a couple of these guys being sophomores, next year is going to be their year to step up and play a big role. So, Coach really was taking advantage of that opportunity.
So 2:48 to go in the fourth quarter. As Peddie leads 74-51. The first Maple League game of Coach Sean Crocker's Mercersburg Academy coaching career. And welcome to the Maple.
It's a tough conference, but as we talked about, you can see the building blocks there, and no doubt Coach Crocker is going to get this team up, and there'll be yet another super competitive Maple League team.
And the problem is you've always got to, when you play in the Maple League, there's always going to be two competitive teams on the floor. The problem is one of those teams has to lose.
Right.
The loose ball here picked up by Mercersburg Academy. Austin calling for it. He's wide open for three. And that's the reason he was calling for the ball. He knocks it down. That's his first three-pointer of the game. And some substitutions come in as Coach Crocker just called the timeout to get a few more players some time.
Yeah, in fact, he pulled Austin, who's had a really nice day. He's, showed a lot. He can shoot it. He can really attack the basket. He's had a nice game.
There's a three ball that's put in by Adavita Kadiala.
Yeah, he's a new junior here at Peddie. He can really shoot it from beyond the arc.
His second three of the game. Man, Peddie continues their hot three-point shooting. This one way off the mark from Daniel Bowes. Kadiala wants another, won't go.
Rushed that one a little bit.
Victor Burgess now with the ball for Mercersburg Academy. High post. And now back out, it's Adam Collins. Victor Burgess lines up the three, no good. A foul on the floor will go against Mercersburg Academy.
I think I might go against Peddie there for Michael Yu.
There you go.
Yeah.
I saw you on the floor, so I assumed it was against Mercersburg, but I guess you can be the foul committer and still hit the deck.
Right. I think he was a little over-aggressive in his boxing out there.
So this is Nicholas Rubino at the line for a 1-and-1. He knocks down the first. Rubino on the board for the first time. He's a sophomore from Aliquippa, Pennsylvania. Mercersburg sports players from all over the country, and I guess you could say all over the globe, with Chevalievich from Canada and Serbia.
Yeah, they really do draw nationally and internationally. As Peddie, he's got a little more New Jersey flavor.
Right.
But
Victor Burgess for Mercersburg is from the Woodlands, Texas. We mentioned Carlos Austin. He's from Washington, D.C. Miles Herons from Vermont. Eli Riley from Harrisburg. Eugene Kyle, who's on the roster from Coral Gables, Florida. Jake Rist, who we've seen today, from Louisville, Kentucky. So they are really looking all over the place for students to come to Mercersburg, of course. As under 30 seconds to go now, this ball comes out of bounds.
Yeah, Peddie's got a couple guys from outside of the region. They got Terrell Prince from Georgia and Josh Takudu from Nigeria.
It's got to be such a cool experience for guys from different places to come to a school and meet some people that you just wouldn't have met otherwise.
Yeah, a real great part of the education is not just what you learn in the classroom, but it's what you learn from your peers, and it's a great part of both these kinds of places. All the schools really in the Maple.
This one is in the books. The Peddie Falcons win 77-55 over Mercersburg Academy. Peddie improves to 9-3 on the season, and Mercersburg Academy drops to 3-7. So, for my broadcast partner, Jason Hansel, my name's Simon Rose. Our director today was Steve Eggert. On graphics was Adam Rosenwasser. Our first game of the doubleheader was a Mercersburg Academy win. The ladies defeating the Peddie Falcons and winning their first Maple League contest of the year. And the second game of the doubleheader goes to the Peddie Falcons, winning 77-55. So thanks to all of you for joining us, and we'll see you next time here on the Strive Network. Monday, we'll be at Blair for a swim meet. So until then, we say so long. Have a good weekend, everyone.